All right. Hello, Action Buyers Resource Team. This is Eric Bauer here, just putting together a real quick video training aid for you for your brand new website. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through what some of the basic operations are of just kind of getting into your website, working with it, being able to edit different components, different pages, use different features of the website builder, of your new Wix website builder. And hopefully this will be something that you can use to kind of come back to and reference once in a while when you're trying to do things, or if you're not quite sure how to edit this or that. Um, there's so much to the platform, so I won't be able to get into everything, of course, but I'm going to try and hit some of the real main points, how to get logged in, how to edit, just basic things on your pages, kind of how you navigate the editor to do that, how you can add new auctions or new properties and how you can edit those, how you can feature one if you like, how to manage your file system, your file share within Wix as well. We're also going to talk just a little bit about a Gmail account that I spun up as well for you guys, and how that kind of ties in to this as well. So yeah, so we can go ahead and get started, and maybe I'll start there. So what I did is I created a brand new free Gmail account for you. It's actionbuyersresource@gmail.com. It's completely free, but that is the account that you can use to log in to your Wix portal. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen here, and we are going to get into it. So, yes, so this is where you go first. So just go to Wix.com to log in. And before you log in, what Wix has us do is you also need to download the Wix mobile app. So there's a mobile app for your smartphone. If you just go to the App Store or the Google Play Store and search for Wix, that'll be the app that you will have to install. So then you're going to install that app, and then you're going to log in to that app using your Gmail account, your actionbuyersresource at gmail.com Gmail account. And I'm going to send you the credentials for that, the email, and the username and the password for you. But you're going to use that. So there's an option where you can log in using Gmail, and then you'll enter in your actionbuyersresource@gmail.com account, and that's how you get logged into Wix. Okay, so then we're going to do the same thing to log on to your website here. So we're going to log into the website, and we're going to log in with actionbuyersresource@gmail.com. I'm going to go ahead and click continue with email, and then it asks for the password right here. So here, and I'll send you what the password is, of course, like I said, for your Gmail account, as well. But that's what we're using to log into here. And we're going to go continue with email. And now we'll get logged in here. Now, it logged us right in, but that's because it remembers my computer. But it may ask you, it may prompt you to do a multi-factor authentication through the app. Okay. So if it comes up and it says, acknowledge this login attempt on the app, what's going to happen is an update, a notification is going to pop up in here in the Wix mobile app once you're logged in here, saying, hey, someone's trying to log into your account. Is this correct? It's something to that effect. And then you just go ahead and acknowledge that, hit yes. Yep, this is good. And then then this screen should come up here. Then it should log you in to the site. Okay, so that's getting logged in. So when you log in, it takes you to this initial place, this initial screen right here, where you can look at the different features of Wix. Right here, in the top left, you'll see your account, right? So here's where you can view your account settings, your workspace settings. You can also view account settings here on the top right here. So you can go and you can look at different different settings and features of your account. Right here on the top left where it says all sites is where you can view all the different sites that you have registered through Wix. Okay. And of course, right now, to date, you just have the one, your Action Buyers Resource website, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to click on that, okay? And of course, here you see if you ever want to create a brand new site, you can create new sites under here as well. Um, but we're gonna for this training, we're gonna get into your new Action Buyers Resource website. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and that's going to take us to your dashboard for this site. Okay. So your dashboard for this site will show you, you can see some really interesting different analytics, kind of like what I talked about in the call the other day regarding like how many people are coming to your site. Right here, this form submissions, that's your email form. I'll show that a little bit later. But your form submissions, how many people are sending you emails, unique visitors you have to the site. There's a ton of different things. You can click on view your site analytics, and you can go pretty in depth. It's kind of fun to explore if you kind of want to get into like, where are people visiting your site from? What days have been the heaviest traffic days. You can do filtering. There's a lot. You can just kind of get in here and you can explore different analytics about your website in this analytics section. Okay, so if that's of any interest to you there, you also have an inbox here for Wix messaging. Okay, so you can come in here and you can view any notifications from the Wix platform, as it were. You can come in here and you can navigate this place for contact as well. So what we're going to do though now is I want to get into your specific site. Okay, so kind of back here again, this is the screen you come up to, your dashboard screen. So maybe something else of quick note here is where you can manage your plan, right? So if you right up here, you can click on Manage Plan. Okay, and this is where it'll take you in, and you can see the subscriptions that you have. Okay, so here's your domain name, actionbuyersresource.com. This is where you can manage that, right? So you can manage settings. You can update your payment method. You can view different attributes you view payment details. And here it says when your last payment was, when the next payment is going to be. So you can see you're paid up for the next 3 years, right, on your domain name, and also for your hosting plan for the website here. So you've already paid for this as well, right? So you're paid up through January of 2029 for your website. So, but here is where you can see information about your different subscriptions. Okay. So you come back to settings. You can see all kinds of different settings about your website. I'm not going to get into all this. I'll let you go ahead and you can explore different areas of this, the different things you can do, but I want to keep this training a little bit more focused on the website. Yeah, so what we're going to do down here at the bottom left, okay, is we're going to click on Edit Site, and that's going to take you into the website editor. So this is where you can come in and you can make changes to your website. So it takes a little bit to load up. So we're going to let that load up. And then I'm going to show you a few features. So here you can see the homepage that comes up. This little black box that popped up right here, that's once in a while on certain pages, I had to write some custom code to get it to do some of the more specialized things. This code down here is what is responsible for helping all of the featured content show up on the homepage. So, but you can just click on this little minimize bar. You can either click on the black bar and it'll minimize, or you can click on this little minimize bar right here, and then that'll just go away if that gets in your way. But yeah, so here's your website. So this is the homepage. Okay, so you can come in here. And kind of like I said in the call the other day, anything that you want to edit, you just kind of go in and you click on. Sometimes you got to click once or twice to get, because there's layers to this thing, right? So what I mean by layers is as you place elements on the screen, so like you see this brown background box right here, that's like in a layer, that's like in a layer right here, but a layer underneath that, that brown box is sitting on another layer, which is this white section behind it, right? And this white section behind it actually was what loads your videos. Okay, it's got your video player, your video gallery. Okay, so sometimes you might have to click on. So if you're focused on a certain thing and it's not selecting quite right, just click again or click a couple more times, and it'll drill down into the layers. Kind of that it's a an element web stack is what it's called. But sometimes I'm just basically letting you know sometimes you've got to click a few times to get in to focus on something that you want to edit. But the idea really here is pretty simple in these website builders is you just go in and you just click on whatever it is you want to edit, right? So say for example, the other day we edited the title up here to include LLC. So I'm just going to click on that, and then right here, what happens is next you're going to see options that come up here. Okay, so you're going to say, okay, like these are different things that you can do when you click on something, and that's going to change based off of what you click. You're going to get kind of different options that show up. Okay. So I'm going to click on Action Buyers Resource on the title here, and I can see I got some different options. I can edit the text. So if I click on Edit Text, now this other context menu comes up with different ways that I can edit the text, right? I can change the font. I can change how big it is. I can make it bolder or underlined. I can change the text color if I want. If I wanted to make it red, I can do that. I'm not going to do that, but all different kinds of things. I can add effects to it if you want to add like some shading or something. We put a little shadow behind it. I'll go ahead and take that off, but we'll just do no effect. But you get the idea. So you can play around and you can edit text, edit this text in these different ways that came up. Okay. Generate text with artificial intelligence. We won't go there. I don't think that'll be something that you'll have to use. Animations and effects, that's something else. So say for example, when this page loaded, right now there's no animation, but say when this page loaded, you wanted it to fade in like that, right? I'll do that again. See how it fades in like that? If you wanted to select that one, you could do that. Or maybe you wanted to give it a shutter effect when it comes in, right? You could pick that when the page loads. You could give it that, right? All kinds of different effects, fun effects that you can add to text, right? We'll just leave it at none so it just loads up as is. But cool animations you can add to different things. Okay, so that's this animations and effects. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. Linking, so you could make this link somewhere, right? So if I clicked on here and I wanted to make it link out to an existing page that you have, you're going to come in here and you're going to say, okay, I want to link this to a specific page, and then it asks you which page on your website do you want it to link to. And then you can come in here and you can see the different pages that exist, the different independent pages that exist on your website. Okay, so you could do that. Or if you wanted to link out to a totally different web page somewhere, you could just go web address like this, and then you just put the URL, the address of that web page or website in there. And then if you want that to open up in a new window, like another browser window, you just indicate that there. Or if you want it to open up in the same one that you're currently on, when the user does that, then you would just hit current window. Okay. Different options here that you can tell the link what to do, right? But on because they're already on the home page and we don't want this to link anywhere, we're going to keep that as none. Okay, so we're going to keep that as we're gonna not link that anywhere. Okay. Yes, so as we explore different things down here, yeah, again, it's pretty simple. So say for example, this image right here, if I wanted to change this image, I would just click on that, right? And now new options come up here, right? Now I've got a few different ones. Now it's not text anymore. Now it knows it's an image. So now it's like, okay, say I want to change this image, for example, right? Okay, so I click on change image, and that's going to open up to it's going to open up a dialog that gives me different options of where I can choose images from. Okay. So what it just opened up right here is your file system, your file share. I was talking about that a little earlier. So whenever this dialog opens up, over here on the left in the gray is kind of how different places you can go and get images from. But also, you're going to right under here under manage, you're going to see an option that's called site files. Site files, these are your files. These are your files that are stored on your file share for your website. Okay. And it's kind of cool. You can organize these however you want. So I just created some folders in here to kind of help organize some of these things. So general images, these are just as the folder name implies, these are just general images for your website. So as you go through different websites, you see different images throughout the website, background header images or background images. Here's that little sold banner that shows up on your sold auctions or sold properties page, that one, right? Like those are all, I've just got those here. Okay. So these are all, this is just where general images are. Same for videos, right? So when you open up the home page on the very top banner, you see videos that are playing, right? This is where they're at. So this is where these videos are at right here, okay? So they're just in the general videos. So you've got place for general images, place for general videos, and you can kind of keep things a little better organized that way. When you're, say you want to add a new video or something, you could put it right in here. Like say when we add that promotional video, Joe, that you are having created, like this would be a great spot on that. So you could put your promotional video in here too, and then from there we'll be able to add it to the website. Okay. Um, I also added folders for auctions and folders for properties. Okay. So again, it wouldn't have had to do this. It's just a way to kind of keep things a little better organized. So if I come into auctions, I created subfolders then, just one folder for every auction. Okay. Again, just trying to go for organization here. Um, you've got different options here of how you want to see this layout. So for example, say, like right now it's showing the folders in kind of a grid sort of way or tiled way. But say I want to see it, I'd rather see it as like a list, right? So it's like, oh, okay, well, this is a little easier to kind of see exactly what's in here, right? Kind of read. You can change how you view this layout up here. Okay, you can change the way that the order is. If you wanted to order alphabetically, ascending, descending, you can change that. If you wanted to filter it, right? Say you get a ton, like 1,000 auctions in here. You can have different filtering options to filter on different things. So you only want to see videos or only images, or you're looking for a certain document or something, you can filter that way. If you want to create a new folder, you can just click on this and then it'll give you an option to create a new folder. We're not going to do that, but that's how you do that. So that's auctions, and I tried to mimic the exact. So now we're looking again. We're looking at the list view here. So I'm going to go into properties, and I kind of did that same one. This is just a test. Actually, this is a test. This is the Wheatland Inn property. So this would be a good example to show like how we can edit this right now. So I want to change that to the actual name of what that property is. So I'm going to come over here on this ellipsis menu. Okay. And I'm going to say I want to rename this folder, and I want to rename that to Wheatland Inn. Okay. And I'll just click off of it. Boom. There we go. Now the folder's name is Wheatland Inn, and it's got the one image in there for that. Pretty simple. It's like storing documents on your computer. You've got a file system here, a file folder system that I've set up for you that you can add new folders in here. Any folders you want to add in here for your website, you can put them in here and you can organize them however your team wants to organize them. So a really nice way to kind of keep your website files organized. Down here at the bottom left, that's how much storage space has been used. All right, so you've got 50 gigabytes, which is a lot. So you can see of the images and the videos and the documents and everything that we've got on the website so far, you've used 1.1 gigs of your 50 so far. So you can kind of see that bar down here. Okay, so as you add new files and stuff in here, you're going to see that bar slowly start to fill up. I'd imagine like the biggest things are videos, right? So videos are the biggest in size, right? They take the most memory. So so these will be, so if you look at file info, that'll tell you kind of how big each one is. So this video right here is 42 megabytes. This one here is a little bigger. This one's 61 megabytes, right? But videos tend to be your biggest type of file, right? So those especially is probably what's gonna start to eat up the most of your storage space. But again, that is going to be, I suspect, a long time, if ever, that you consume this. You can always upgrade. You can always get more space on the platform. That won't be a problem. Reach out to me if you see that you're starting to run out of space and you're not quite sure what to do. Just reach out to me, and I can help you decide what would be a good way to go about that. Okay. You can delete files. Okay. So files that aren't needed anymore, you can come in, you can delete those, right? So if you wanted to come in here and you wanted to move something to the trash, I'm not going to do that, but you can. And then the trash is just right here, right? So here is where you can come in, and then you all of your all the files that have been deleted are just in here. So that's a little bit about your site file folder structure here. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to come out and we are going to look at the next section here, which is how to know how to add things to your page, right? So say, for example, you want to come in and you want to add like a new button right here to this brown box, okay, that links to, say, another website that you have, right? This white bar right here is gives you a bunch of options of ways that you can add content to your website. Okay, so we're going to click on this top one here that says I want to add an element. Okay, and now this brings up a whole bunch of different options of things that you can add to your website. So let's say we want to add a button. I'm going to click on buttons. And then within buttons, you've got all different kinds of styles of buttons, icon buttons, all kinds of things, image buttons, right? That you can add there, right? So if I clicked and I'm going to click on this button and I'm going to drag it right here, okay? And now we've got a new button on our page. And now I can go to the settings of that button and I can change the text. We'll say it's new, a new button, great. And now I'm going to click on the design of that button and say I want to customize this design. I want it to be a different color, so I'm going to hit customize, and we'll say I want the background. I want to give it not a white background. Let's give it like a blue background, and then I want to click on. Okay, so I'm going to go back and I want to do the text. Let's say I want the text. That doesn't show up very well as being black right there. So I want the text color. Let's make that like a white. Okay, we'll do that. Let's see. I want to make the font bold. So we just made it bold. I want to underline. So you can see as I'm selecting these things, the button is updating, right? I can move it, I can position it, say I want to put it over here, whatever, right? I say I want to link that button. Remember, we have the link option. So I'm going to click the link option and I want to link that out to say like www.google.com, right? Cool. Okay, so now when I click that button, you can see the link option is green there. Now that when I click that, it's going to go to Google. We're going to go ahead and delete this because we don't want that button on here. But this is an example of adding a button to a page. The same applies for really anything you want to add. If you want to add some new text, right? You can just drag some text over a text element over onto your page. We'll just stick this right here, right? And then you can click on here. Same thing. You can edit the text. You can change what's in the text. You can type in there, and then you can change the font. You can change the styling. You can add different effects. You can add alignments, a lot like Microsoft Word. You can in Microsoft Word. You can do that. So yeah, you can move it around. You can make it bigger or smaller, all those kinds of things. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that because we don't want to do that. But yeah, so that's really the idea of like anything that you want to edit. You just come in here and you click on it. You look for the options that come up, and then you just explore those different options and you can edit it how you want. If you want to add new ones, come over here and click Add Elements. All different kinds of things, images, buttons, boxes, maybe a different kind of a photo gallery if you want to get creative, all different kind, social media icons and buttons, things like that. Um, if you want to come in, you can add a brand new section. So let's say, for example, you wanted to come in here and you wanted to put a new section in between your testimonials and this little marketing section here. You could click on Add Section, and here now a brand new section comes in and say, okay, I just added a new section, and you know what? I think I want to put a I think I want to edit this section. I think I want to put, so I had to click on it a couple times here to do it, but I want to change the background. So I think I don't want to, maybe I'll make it a brown background, right? So you think, oh, well, maybe I want to give it a gradient background instead. And I want that gradient to go maybe up and down, right? You can kind of change the direction of the gradient here. All different kinds of fun things to do there. And be like, no, I don't like that. I want to actually give it an image instead. So here I selected the image option, and it defaults to this media from Wix. That's where this weird cat is coming from and these other images. But I want to go up to our site files. Remember our site files? I want to go up into there. I'm going to be like, okay, yep. So here is the here's our site files again. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to put this image in general images. And yeah, gosh, I don't have one in here that I want. I want to upload a new one. So here I'm going to come in here and I'm going to upload a new one. So I'm going to click upload and I'm going to upload it from my computer. So now from my computer, I'm going to pick this one of Eric as a Jedi. Okay. And now it's uploading it. And I'll delete this, of course. But now it's like, okay, now I have a picture of Eric as a Jedi. So I'm going to select that and I'm going to come down here in the bottom right where it says change background, and I'm going to hit change background. And now there's Eric as a Jedi there with Yoda lurking over me here. So yeah, but you kind of get the idea. You can make it a video, all sorts of other different options, right? But if you wanted to add a new section and then you wanted to put some text in there or another image or whatever it is, you can do that. On a section, you can add different animations and effects, right? So this parallax effects is kind of cool. So that's what's current. There's your website uses a lot of this parallax effect where you scroll, but the website or the background picture kind of stays in place as the website is going up and down, and as the text moves. It's kind of a cool, visually appealing effect you can put on a background image there. Different effects you can do on background images through animations and stuff like that. But all kinds of different things you can do here. But we're gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna select this section here, and I'm gonna hit the delete button, and we're gonna delete that section because we don't actually want that on your website either. So as you're making changes, up here on the top is where you will save you can save those changes. So as you make changes to your website, you can come up here and hit this save button. And then that's going to go ahead and save the changes that have been made. Okay. You can also turn on autosave. So if you want, you can turn autosave on and off, and you can do so by using the shortcut right here, this Control Alt Y. So if I come in here and I hit Control Alt Y, now I just turned autosave on. Okay. So now autosave is on. So whenever I'm editing something, it's going to go ahead and save that. It doesn't publish it to the website quite yet, to the live site yet. It just saves your changes as you're making your edits, right? So I like to have autosave on. It's just kind of a nice, that way I know I'm not losing any of my changes. I don't have to remember to come up here and save that, but just noteworthy, that's where you can save your your progress as you're working on it. Okay. Um, so that's adding new elements, adding sections like we just did. Here, this pages and menus. So if you click on that, that's where you can navigate to the different pages of your website. So if you come up here, this first main menu here is a site menu. That's your menu of options up here at the top, at the very top of your website. Your navigation. These are the links that show up in your navigation and the order that they show up in. Okay. So like look, for example, here down here where it says contact, that's the last one that shows up. That's over here on the top right. So if I take contact and I drag it up above the about, now you can see the contact link moved. Now it's before the about one. Okay. We don't want that. We're going to put that back, but that's how you can do that. That's you can reorder how the order that your pages show up in your navigation. Okay. Say you want to go and work on a different page, you simply come in here to the site pages and menu and find in your site menu, find the one you want to go to and just click on it. Now it's going to load the about page. Okay. So you just come over here and you can click off of there and now we're on the about page. Now you can come make changes to the about page, edit text, images, all those fun things. Okay. And that's how you do that. So that's how you can edit your existing pages. You can even create brand new pages. So down here, this little blue circle button says add a brand new page. So add a new page. So if you click on add a new page, you can come in here and it gives you some very nice, you can kind of explore different like templates. So these are sort of like pre-built like page templates. So you can kind of look at these and if you like the layouts of any of these, you can say, ah, yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of like how this one is here. Yeah, go ahead or if you want to preview it first, you can say, let me see what it would look like first. So you can bring up a preview and this is how the page would look on your site. And if you like it, you can go ahead and you can add that page to your site and then it'll show up in your navigation, right? Or you can just create a blank one, right? So you can like click on, you're just like, I just want to start from scratch. That you could totally do that too. So you can just click on add a blank page here in the top left, and then that'll add a brand new page to your site. So just to show how that's done, let's go ahead and do that. So I just added a brand new page to the site, right? And now the menu opens up. It'd be like, okay, what do you want to call it? We'll call it like brand new. Okay, done. Right. So now you see there's a brand new option in your navigation at the top. Okay. You can move that around, right? And this is your brand new page. You can come in here and again, you can start adding things, right? You can add images, you can add text, whatnot, and now you've got a brand new page for your website. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to delete that because we don't want that either, right? So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, okay, no, we actually want to delete this. So it says, and it asks for a confirmation. Do you want to delete the page? Yes, we want to delete our brand new page. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to delete that for demonstration purposes here. But yes, okay. I want to come back to the how your dynamic pages. Okay. So dynamic pages, those are pages that are built from your content management system, which will be one of the last things I talk about. So dynamic pages, those are built pulling data from your CMS, from your content management system. Okay, so you have one for auctions, right? So this will pull any auctions that you have, any live auctions that are listed in the content management system. It'll open up here, and this is what's called a repeater. Okay, so if you change one of these, anything in this box, it's going to apply to all of them. Okay, like visually, stylistically, not the data that shows, but stylistically. So what I mean by that is if I change anything about how this is, what options are in here, or if I moved any of these boxes or anything, it's going to show up on all these. So for example, watch when I move this button here. You see the bottom one down here also moved. That's because these are meant to repeat the same format. Okay, so So that is that is the repeater that shows your different auctions that are being pulled from your content management system. Now, to um, when you click on an auction and when you click on this details button right here, I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to go to settings. You can kind of change the different settings about that. But when we click on this, over here on the top right, you can see it's connected to our content management system. And what we want to do is here it tells us, okay, which one of our data sets, our tables in our content management system, is it connected to? It's connected to the listings one. And again, I'll show that shortly. So this repeater is bound or connected to the listings data set. And when we click on this button, it wants to know what to do. So here, where it says click action connects to, that's where we can tell it we want it to go to a dynamic page, our dynamic auction page. Okay. So we want to go to a details page for that auction. Okay. So this auction is a dynamic page that we want it to navigate to. So if we want to see what that looks like, what the auction page looks like, we're going to open up our pages menu and we're going to come down to dynamic pages and we're going to go to the auction page. Okay. Now, this is the dynamic page for an auction, right? So these are the different elements in here. So if we go to actionbuyersresource.com, your live site, and I browse over, let me just go to one here on the live site, and I'm going to click on the details of this auction. You can see at the top we've got the title, we've got the date, we've got the status, we've got the description. Like that's because on our auction detail dynamic page, that's how we've got it laid out here. Okay, online bidding, bid packet. You see that's those buttons are showing up here. Let's see a photo gallery here. Your bid packets that are pulling from your CMS here, a video for it. We've got a video player. That is because those elements are set up here on your dynamic auction page. Okay, and so if you ever want to edit how this page looks, this is where you go to edit anything. If you want to add a new field on here or kind of move this stuff around, this is where you go to do that. Okay, the exact same thing for properties, right? So properties, like auctions, they have a repeater, right? So right now there's only one property in here, the Wheatland Inn, right? But if there were multiple, you'd see multiple in here. When you click on details for a property, it's going to go to the property dynamic page, right? And so this is how that is laid out. So let's do that on the live site. So on the live site, if we go to properties for sale and we go to details, now we're on the dynamic page for properties. So here you'll see we've got the title, we've got the price, we've got the address, right? The description. So, and we have that there because on our dynamic page, we have the title, the price, the location, the description. Those are linked to that property on our content management system. Okay. Now, for each one of these, it knows what to put in here from our content management system by this little green connected to content management system option here. So if we click on that, the reason it knows on the live site to show Wheatland Inn right here is because I've bound this label to the title field of that item in the content management system. So if I click on that, it says, okay, we're using the listings item data set, but that text is connecting to the title field on that CMS record. The price is connected to I've got an expression in here to format it, but that's connected to the selling price field. The location is connected to the location field, okay? The description is connected to the description field, right? This repeater right here is bound to, I have a photos field on there in the CMS that I'm going to show you. that's bound to the photos collection, right? So on and so forth. But that's how these fields are all hooked up. Okay. Is all you do is you click on this and you go to how it's connected. And then that's where you can see. I drug that up. I'm going to drag that down a little bit. Okay, so now what I want to do is now this is the part where I want to show you the content management system. So down here is the CMS link. That's your content management system. So this is where you go to add new auctions, to edit auctions or properties, or to delete them. This is where you go. Okay, so you click on that, and then what you need to do is come down here to your collections. And then under your collections, there right now you just have one collection, okay? That's your listings. That's got both auctions and properties in it together. So you're going to click on listings, and now it opens up your content management system. Okay, so this is the back end that I got all configured and set up for you. And in here is where you would add new ones. You can add them either inline. So if you click on add item down here, you can add it in as just a new row. Or if you like more of like the form feel, you can do so by clicking the button, the blue button at the top right here. So click add item. And here's where you can either add a new auction or a new property. Okay. So you can add a new auction. You can put the title in, the description of it, what its status is, whether it's active, pending, or closed, the address. So if you put in like my address 1206 Lutsen Circle, it searches and it's intelligent enough to know it's a valid address, right? We'll take that out. The date of the auction, we'll say. If you have any photos, you can click on this, right? So this is where you can say, okay, you want to add some media here. So we're going to go add media. And now we'll come in here and be like, okay, we're going to add a new auction. We're going to add some photos for a new auction. So I actually want to come in to my auctions page and I want to create a new folder for a new auction, right? And then I want to, inside there, here is where I want to start uploading photos for my new auction, right? So say, okay, yep, let's go ahead and upload some media, and the photo for this is going to be Eric's Jedi picture again, and they'll say Eric and Rachel taking a nap together. That's Eric and Rachel taking a nap together too there. So we're going to upload these two, right? So now we've got Eric and Rachel taking a nap, and Eric is a Jedi, right? So these are the two auction pictures. So okay, great. So what you can do, you can select multiple. So I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to hold Control, and I'm going to select this one as well. I think you can drag and grab, or you can drag and scroll over as well to select them, one or however many you have. And I'm going to go Add Items, and then I'm going to hit Save, and now it's got those images there. If you got a video for the auction, you can upload that here too. If you got your bid packets, so your PDFs, your bid packets will get uploaded right here. Again, you want to put those in the right folder for that auction or for that property. If it's property, right, you got selling price. Or if your auction is complete and you want to show what the total selling amount was, you put that in here, selling price, acres, your high bid link, or your online auctions bid link will go here. If you want this one to be featured on the home page, this is where you do it. So you like, okay, we want to toggle this featured on home page checkbox right here. Now the rest of these are just automatically generated fields. You don't need to mess with these ones in gray. You don't change those ever. But yeah, so then when you've got all that information done, you just click save, and it adds your new auction. There, that's all there is to it. To add your new auction, we're going to cancel that. So we're going to discard changes there. But yeah, so this is where you manage your auctions. So say you wanted to delete one, you could come in, say the Sack family one, you just come in here, you check the box, and then you could say, okay, I want to delete it. See right here on the top right, it says delete it. We don't want to do that, but if you want to change the text, you just double click in there, say there, and you can change the text, right? If you want to change the description, you can do that. If you want to change the status, you can do that here. The location, you can enter in a valid address. You can enter in the date of the auction. I'm going to scroll over a little bit. again, I click here to add new photos. I click here to add new videos. I click here to add the bid packet. If there are any other supporting documents, you can add those here, update the selling price, acres, online bid, online auction link. And then also lastly, whether or not it's featured on the homepage. Okay, so for something to be featured on the homepage, two things need to be true. Okay, first off, this checkbox needs to be checked. Okay, and the second thing that needs to be true is that the status needs to be active. Okay, if the status is pending or closed, it's not going to show on the homepage. It needs to be active status and featured on the homepage. Those two things are true. Okay, that's and I believe it's only set up where it'll only show one featured at a time. So you can only ever have one featured at a time. If you ever want to show more than one as being a featured something on the homepage, that maybe just call me. We'll have to do some updates there. But it's just set up today just to show only one featured at a time. So on the homepage. So yes, but this is your content management system, right? So this is where you add auctions, edit auctions, delete auctions, or properties, right? And this is kind of where you manage those. You can create different views, right? So right now we've got this all listings. So these are all of your listings. I created one here that is just auctions. So if you just wanted to show auctions, you can see it that way. If you just wanted to see properties, I created another view for that. This is a view we created the other day, and we don't need that one. So I'm actually going to delete that view. So we're going to say delete. Okay. And but if you have any other views that you'd like to see, you can just filter and sort how you like it, and then just create it as a new view that way. If you start to get a lot in here, say you want a view for like 2024 auctions, right? Or South Dakota auctions or whatever it is, right? You can filter your view here, your content management system to get whatever data records you want showing and then save it as a view. Okay. But yes, again, this is how you manage your auctions on your website. Okay. Let's see. Other than that, I think that largely covers the main things of what you need to know. There is so much you can do. I've barely scratched the surface of what you can do with this platform, the options that you have. But I think these cover the most common things that you're going to come up against. Okay. Maybe one last thing that I do want to talk about is on your contacts page. So I'm going to come over to the contacts page. I'm going to come up to site menu, and I'm going to go to the contact page. And now this email form right here, what happens? So if you ever want to like change the look of this email form or something, right? You can come in here and you can change, change different settings about it. You can change the design of it. If you click design, you can customize it. You can kind of really get into the depths of like changing different features and stuff about this if you ever want to change it. But this contact form is set up to email the account that you are registered with Wix under. So that's your Gmail account. That's your actionbuyersresource@gmail.com email account. Okay, so that is the address that it goes, that any emails that come to that people send through this contact form here, they're going to go to that email address. But then what I have done is I've set up email forwarding. So whenever someone emails to that address, it's going to forward the email to mail@actionbuyersresource.com. Okay, so your email will get forwarded to you that way as well there too. So, but I just wanted to let you know a little bit more about how your contact form is set up there. So, yeah, but I think that's probably sufficient for the time being. So hopefully this was helpful. This is a resource that you can come back and you can take a look at. and just reference if you're just kind of wondering how to go do something like, how did Eric say that I should go do that? This will be something that you can go and you can maybe just kind of watch me doing it on here, and hopefully it'll give you a little bit of confidence as you guys kind of get into like update auctions and maybe update sections of your page and stuff like that. Again, if you ever have any questions at all, not quite sure how to do something, just feel free to reach out. Happy to share. Happy to help you guys out in any way I can. So again, all right, team. I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. All right. Thanks a bunch.